What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're back again. And before we get into the SmackDown Live review, I want to get a couple things out of the way. First off, Brian Kendrick was injured last night on WWE Raw when he faced Hideo Itami. He took a very stiff GTS to the face, broke his orbital bone and his nose. So he's going to be out for a good amount of time. As you all remember, earlier this year or late last year, Austin Aries had the same problem with his orbital bone when it came to getting hit with the Kinshasa from Shinsuke Nakamura that put him out until about the WrestleMania time. So I'd say probably a little bit after WrestleMania, maybe a little bit after that, because he has a broken nose as well. He's going to be out for a while, so I wish Brian Kendrick the most speedy recovery. And I want to thank everybody who watched my Raw review yesterday or listened to my Raw review, because I only do audio. Thank you guys. 68 views is the most views I've seen on my channel for a while, probably since, I know it's been a while, but like the Super Bowl I did last year, that one would have 13,000 views. But 68 views in one day, that is amazing. Thank you guys so much, and make sure to keep it up. I'm excited for what's coming in 2018. Hopefully I will have a new microphone to make it sound a little bit better, because I'm using my different microphone that doesn't make it sound well enough. Tonight was Friday Night Smack. Well, it's not Friday. I'm sorry, not Friday. Tonight was SmackDown Live, the final SmackDown of the year. We had a commercial-free episode for the first hour of SmackDown, and compared to Raw last night, it was, I'd say, a better SmackDown Live opening match than we had Raw last night. We also had continuation of what happened with Dolph Ziggler. We have a new tournament going on for the United States Championship, an 8-man tournament. I do like tournaments. They are awesome. I think I like to see a title tournament here and there, not every month, not every year, but at least once in a blue moon, and not here's a singles match, here's like 4 singles matches. The winner of those matches will go to a fatal 4-way, and that'll be your #1 contender or champion. That's not a tournament. That's not a tournament at all. This is a tournament. We had 2 matches tonight, and I assume we'll have 2 matches next week, which will be the first round, and then we have the semifinals, and then the finals, which I think will be at the Royal Rumble, which, again, I'm not mad at. That is awesome. It gives the United States, it actually makes the United States Championship a little bit more relevant, because you have 8 guys going for it. The show started off with Daniel Bryan coming out, addressing the United States, what happened and what's going to happen with the United States Championship. It was, again, Daniel Bryan. We had Dolph Ziggler last week come out and pretty much just throw the title down and walk out. We still don't know exactly what they're going to do. I mean, they did this, months ago, where he walked out, acted like he was like, we didn't appreciate him enough. He walked out and came back and started doing his, I'm better than everybody. Here's all these stupid little entrances for you so I can sit there and make myself look like an idiot. What are they going to do this time? I honestly don't know. But here is Daniel Bryan on the future of the United States Championship.
Now, I have been trying to call Dolph Ziggler all week, and unfortunately, he hasn't responded to my phone calls or my text messages. Due to his actions last week, it appears that Dolph Ziggler has voluntarily relinquished the United States Championship.
Chicago is not happy one day.
But we do need to move forward. Shane and I are proud to have the history and the prestige of the United States Championship right here on SmackDown Live. And because of that, I am out here to announce a tournament.
And I love me a tournament when it's done right, so I'm looking forward to see how they're going to do this. I know it's not going to be anything like the Mae Young Classic or the Cruiserweight Classic, but a title tournament for any title, I don't even care what it is, where it's 8 to 16 guys or 8 to 16 women, is great. And it helps give you a little bit of intrigue for the next week or so of SmackDown Live to see who's going to advance in this tournament.
To crown a new United States champion.
I always like to consider, before he finishes, I also like to consider a title tournament always being like a reset for a title in some ways because you can have 8 to 16 guys or more, mostly 8 to 16, depending on how big the tournament's supposed to be, where they go after it, and it gives intrigue to the title. I mean, the WWE Championship, I could say, could probably use a tournament after AJ Styles had to relinquish it, just to give it a little bit more prestige back after what that crap they did with Jinder Mahal earlier this year. The U.S. title has not done anything in a long time, so having 8 guys wanting to battle to win the United States Championship, in my opinion, helps the title more than anything. I'm just hoping every single of these matches, and the 2 matches tonight weren't bad. They weren't the best matches in the world, but they were good for TV. So that's always a positive. We will see who will be the other 4 men because they did not announce it tonight or yet who's going to be in this tournament, who's also in this tournament. So I am looking forward to SmackDown next week to see who is in this tournament, which is great for the first match SmackDown of next year.
That's great, Daniel.
He announced Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin for the first round of the tournament. He was about to announce the second match, which was Ty Dillinger versus Jinder Mahal, which, in my opinion, Jinder Mahal is where exactly he needs to be with the gimmick that he has. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin come out to interrupt him.
I'm so happy for the U.S. title, but we're wondering what you're going to do about the tag team title situation.
Didn't you guys just get an opportunity at the tag team titles 2 weeks ago at Clash of Champions?
Okay, but was it fair, Daniel? Really? Was that fair? Think about it, okay?
First of all, we never got our one-on-one matchup with the Usos.
Finally, somebody says it. It had to take weeks, but Shelton Benjamin we finally have somebody say what we've all been saying since the apparent injury that cost them their first time for the tag team titles. These two should have had a one-on-one match against the Usos at Clash of Champions. Yes, that tag team match was a not bad match, but we still should have seen one-on-one the Usos versus Gable and Benjamin, which I like to call them the Minnesota Wrestling Crew because they're both Minnesota, I guess, college.
Instead, you decided to add a couple other teams.
Yeah, why were they in the match?
Like the New Day.
Preach.
Yeah, why were they in the match?
Preach.
Like Aiden English and Rusev.
Yeah,
Preach.
why were they in the match?
By the way, Rusev Day is so over. They got to pull the trigger and give these guys a bone. Rusev Day is so over. I don't want to see this be like a Wade Barrett or a Zack Ryder or a Cody Rhodes or something else or Daniel Bryan before he actually rose above it all. I hate to see somebody get as over naturally as Rusev Day is right now, which I guess is what Aiden English and Rusev is calling their tag team. At least that's what Tom Phillips said is their tag team name. I could be wrong, but that's not the point. I would hate to see these guys be so over, which, by the way, Rusev looks like he is having the time of his life being so over with the live crowd. I do not want to see them go from being this over to, like, by the time the Royal Rumble comes around, they're dead in the water because WWE didn't pull the trigger. Tonight would have been a great night to do something with them.
Last week, we beat the Usos 1, 2, 3, proving that if it had been just us at Clash of Champions,
that you and every one of you would be looking at the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Why do we deserve to face the Usos? Just listen and we will disclose.
I really hated Aiden English when he was at NXT and when the Simon Gotch got released. I hated his singing gimmick. When he was at NXT and just with the singing guy who sat there and was like, in WWE, and would come to the ring and just sing himself to the ring, I hated it so much. Not in the fact that, oh, he's a good heel, but just it was so annoying. Then him and Simon Gotch teamed up and made the Vaudevillains. I love that tag team. That was an awesome tag team in NXT. They dropped the ball with them, of course, like every tag team pretty much in WWE so far. And then Simon Gotch said, I'm out of here. And then Aiden English was left on his own. I figured he was going to be a Mike Kanellis, who we haven't seen. He's probably still in therapy. And Ty Dillinger, well, you don't see him at all. But they gave him to Rusev. Him and Rusev have got this tag team thing on, and it's working out pretty well for both of these guys. And I'm really enjoying what him and Rusev are doing.
1, we beat the champs 2 weeks ago. 2, at Clash, did we lose? No. And 3, you all know what day comes right after Christmas.
It's Boxing Day.
Ooh, boost for
No, you fool!
Chad Gable.
It's Rusev Day!
Then, of course, the New Day had to come out. And again, can somebody tell me what is with these pancakes? You've seen for like the last month and a half them holding this big, huge tray of pancakes. Kofi Kingston was actually throwing some into the crowd. What's with the pancakes already? It's just so weird.
These other teams are out here wasting your time. If you want to find out who the #1 contenders really should be, all you have to do is take the Kofi Kingston True-False Challenge.
Did the team of Chad Gable and old Jason Jordan, sorry, Shelton, my fault.
That's awesome.
That's my bad. Get pinned at Clash of Champions? True. Did the oddly charismatic team of Rusev Day?
Okay, so Big E called him Rusev Day. I don't know if that's actually the tag team, but the fact that he called him oddly charismatic, which you can, that is a good way to describe Aiden English and Rusev, because they are oddly charismatic.
Did they get pinned by your boys last week?
True. See, Daniel, logic states that it's your boys, the New Day, who are the rightful #1 contenders to the... Here, can you step up here with us? We're gonna... Okay.
They bring Daniel Bryan between Xavier and Big E to do their little dance
To
thing.
the SmackDown WWE.
He starts doing the hip gyration with them until Rusev
Now,
stops it.
Daniel, tell me, what is he going to be? Can you make up your mind? Or you got to ask your mommy, Shane McMahon?
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one. I love that. It's so funny to laugh. The fact that Rusev said your mommy, Shane McMahon, that is just the burn of the year right there for Rusev to Daniel Bryan. That was just funny.
We are going to have a triple threat match.
Oh, a triple threat match. You didn't see this coming. It's formulaic for WWE. Anytime 2 or more people come out to argue a point, let's not agree to disagree. Let's just settle on, hey, let's have a triple threat match to decide who will face the Usos for the Tag Team Championship
Where the
at SmackDown.
winners will face the Usos for the Tag Team Championships. And that match happens right now! Get a referee out here!
Both shows started off with a promo from somebody or some people, and then we go to a tag team championship, a tag team match, or a singles match as we did last night. So, what else are they gonna do? Like, WWE just has no creativity. It does bite that the Bludgeon Brothers aren't where they're going to be later on, hopefully, where we could have like the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers and Gable and Benjamin versus Aiden English and Rusev. The 2 winners of that would face next week, and the winner of that would face the Usos at a later date or at the Rumble. This match was not a bad match at all. It pretty much was as hectic as it was at Clash of Champions. Just take the Usos out, so there was that. The match ended with the winners were Gable and Benjamin. The match ended with Big E tries a big ending, getting blocked. He gets on the top rope, and Shelton Benjamin hits a running knee, jumping knee to him. They put him in the powerbomb and hit the finisher, the double T finisher, which I don't even know what they call it. They don't even give it a nickname or a name. and they are your number one contenders. After this match, it was said that next week we will have Gable and Benjamin versus the Usos. Hopefully, it won't be like it was the last time these two teams were to face off, and it was 2 minutes in. You got a chop block for one of the Usos, and that was that. This match in the overall was pretty good. I would like to say that there was a spot towards the end of the match where you had Gable and Aiden English both, or not Aiden English, but Gable and Xavier Woods both laid out. Rusev stacks Xavier Woods on top of Gable and hits them and has a super double accolade on them. It looked so awesome. The crowd was going wild. They wanted the pool. They wanted to actually see Rusev win this match, and if they would have had the Team Rusev Day, I'm just gonna say it, Team Rusev Day win this match, it would have been hot. It would have been the right time, and it would have been great for Chicago. They need to throw Rusev a bone. I don't want to see this where they're just gonna kill Rusev Day. WWE's got to stop doing this where it's like, well, go out and do this lame gimmick. Nobody's going to follow this. Because every single time they do this, they did it with Bad News Barrett. Look how that went. They did it with Zack Ryder when they let him do his Z True Highland story. Because, let's be honest, if they didn't want him to do Z True Long Island story back when he did it, they could have stopped it like that. They could have told him, you're not allowed to do that. You can't do it while you're working here. If not, if you do, we'll have to release you because it's against company policy. But they let him do it. So it got him over, and then they eventually killed him. They did it with Bad News Barrett, and I have a feeling they're going to do it with Rusev Day 2, which is a shame because he is so over. I also got to say that there's also, and this is something that just gets kind of aggravating with me when it comes to triple threat or fatal 4-ways or fatal 5-ways, which we will talk about that at the end of the show, where they always have to have a Tower of Doom. You know, somebody's on the top rope, another person gets on the top on one of the ropes, another one on that, and then someone comes behind and just power bombs everybody down. That spot just has to go for at least a year or so because they do it too much. But they did follow it up with a splash by English for a 2 count, which was a nice spot. The honor roll by Xavier Woods is one of the best spots, best moves I think he ever does. It is really awesome, and it's a good thing to see. And Chad Gable towards the beginning of this match, like midway, like the beginning of this match, you had Big E had had Aiden English in a lock, looked like he was about ready to do a German to him. Chad Gable comes up behind him and double German suplex both of these guys at the same time. I want to say this, and I hope it could happen in the future. This would be a dream match for me. It won't happen at WrestleMania. But at SummerSlam, I would love to see Chad Gable versus Brock Lesnar in a legit match. I could see Brock Lesnar and Chad Gable putting on a AJ Styles Brock Lesnar type match if Brock Lesnar gave him a chance to, or they let him do that. Chad Gable is legit. He is the real deal, and this guy could do big things in 2018 if they let him. He is just a beast, and just shows that yes, Jason Jordan won the tag team titles last night, but he shows why he was the better of the two in American Alpha. So, good match overall. We will see them next week. And it should be, hopefully, a good match. I can see these two teams putting on a good showing, which is good. We have a good tag team match going on. That also with what is going to probably be the final two matches of the first round of the United States Championship. So the first Smackdown of 2018 is going to be a good show, and I'm looking forward to it. We only have to wait 7 more days for that. We come back to as soon as that match was over, we see Daniel Bryan in the back. Shane McMahon comes in, and they have a nice little conversation, and Shane McMahon is not too happy with Daniel Bryan.
Last week, you said that I was turning into Mr. McMahon, something I take great exception to. Now, I know, my dad is not the easiest guy, and from a business standpoint, it's not the easiest to get along with him. I realize all of those things. It's very important that we stay focused on certain things. The fact that, Vince specifically, well, look, he can be his management style can be ruthless, cold, calculating. He could be a mean SOB. We all agree on that. And believe me, I've had to deal with it too. But give the man his due, okay? You gotta give the man his due. He has built this business brick by brick. He's built this empire by himself. He has worked diligently and hard. He has changed sports entertainment into what it is today.
I hate when they say Vince McMahon did this all by himself because you know darn well that is not even close to the truth. He had help just like any other big mogul, like any big mogul out there. They had people in, people's help on the way there. Vince McMahon did not do this all on his own. He probably had the ideas, but he needed the help behind him to get behind him to be able to do this.
He has redefined this business. And more so, at the end of the day, he's my father.
Shane, I understand all that. And you're right. I'm not trying to undermine what Mr. McMahon has accomplished. Just trying to say you've been throwing your weight around a lot lately. And that seems a little bit to me like some of the aspects of your father that aren't so good.
Throwing my weight around. I mean, kind of like you are with the United States Championship Tournament. Now, Baron Corbin specifically, I mean, he has a legitimate gripe because he was the former champion and is guaranteed a rematch. I'm questioning your logic a little bit. Why wouldn't you just make Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode? I'm sure Bobby Roode doesn't want to go through an entire tournament either.
Well, this is the land of opportunity, and I thought the best idea was to give an opportunity to several superstars.
The facial expressions of Shane McMahon in this entire segment here just shows that there's just cracks between these two's partnership that are just starting to form, and he's really starting to regret having Daniel Bryan as general manager. So it's going to be really interesting where this goes to, especially since Daniel Bryan's not supposed to be able to get cleared and have a match. But I'm just hoping they don't do like they did with the Miz and just end it, and that's that.
But let me go into tonight's main event. Kevin Owens
he's really not happy
versus
about this
AJ Styles. The main event is SmackDown Live tonight. This is something I'm questioning because I just don't understand where you're coming from on this. And now, granted, I know it's non-titled, but what on earth also about, did you ban Sami Zayn from ringside? No. So we all know primarily how that will turn out. Do you think these guys deserve that opportunity? Daniel, I just want to say, something that, perception is reality. And I want to make sure that, people aren't feeling that you're showing a lot of favoritism towards those guys. And granted, I'm not accusing you of anything, but people are saying that there's a lot of favoritism being shown to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn by you. And I just want to make sure that my general manager is beyond reproach.
Well, if you want to know my reasoning, AJ Styles and Kevin Owens was one of the most vicious, heated rivalries of all of 2017. I thought, why not end the year with one more match?
Okay.
Just the way he said, okay. He is not happy one bit whatsoever with that at all. And that would not be the last time we see Shane McMahon for the night. He would have a presence in the final match of the night. So, yeah, Shane McMahon and him and Daniel Bryan are starting to have more and more cracks. They're teasing it little by little, which is great. Because if this does lead to something by the time WrestleMania comes around, we have a long way to go to get there. So I'm glad that they're not just going full force into this. And they're just tearing slightly at the seams. It's not like a full-on tear. It's just like baby steps. Just baby steps. Ruby Riott versus Naomi. Who cares? I really didn't even pay attention to this match because that match happened later in the night. It's going to happen. Breezango versus the Bludgeon Brothers was up next. We had... The reason this match happened was, I guess, during the Fashion Files on WWE.com, which I don't care for, and I'm so glad they put it on WWE.com or YouTube, whichever one you want to look at it. The Ascension gifted Breezango with a rematch against the Bludgeon Brothers. It was pretty much, it was about the same as it was. I mean, it did start out with both men, all four men in the ring. Breezango does get a drop kick on the Bludgeon Brothers each. They get destroyed from there. Match ends. Full Nelson powerbomb for a 2. Because Eric Rowan picked Tyler Breeze's head up. I still say that should be their finisher. It is much more devastating looking than their double arm powerbomb thing, whatever you call that. Definitely look better with the Full Nelson double team powerbomb move. That is so much better. They destroy Fandango in the ring, and the Ascension run in to attack Harper and Rowan, and they run off, dragging Breezango with them. Winners of the Bludgeon Brothers by DQ, which led us to, as we look, because this was still part of the first hour, we come back to the back, and we have Ascension pretty much trying to make the Breezango feel a little bit better, and they were asked about what happened out there.
Breezango, I would love to get a word, but clearly,
they're not in the right frame of mind to conduct this interview. So on behalf of our best friends, it's safe to say...
Before he said what he said, I thought, oh, you guys actually going to step up to the plate and take on the Bludgeon Brothers? That'd be a little different, but yeah.
That what the Bludgeon Brothers did tonight, they crossed the line.
That's why our best friends are challenging the Bludgeon Brothers to a rematch next week.
The Breezango's not happy.
Bludgeon Brothers better get ready for the wasteland.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with them, but something's going on with them. But what was the point of all that? Then they showed us more shoving the Women's Royal Rumble down our throats. I'm getting sick of it already. It's not a groundbreaking match. It's not like it's not... I'm guarantee you I'm not saying this, but I'm pretty sure Shimmer or any of those all-women promotions have probably done something like this already, so it's not a groundbreaking match. But it doesn't count if it didn't happen in WWE. As Vince McMahon would say, if it doesn't happen in WWE, then it doesn't count. Whatever. Naomi versus Ruby Riott. Riott Squad out for the match. Who really cares? The biggest problem with, as I said last night, with these factions of Absolution and Riott Squad is you're always going to see them wrestle the same people over and over. It'd be better if you had like Ruby Riott on her own because she could take on Naomi. Then she could take on Natalya or Carmella. It's always going to be Naomi and Charlotte. And then probably Becky Lynch when she comes back because she'll have a vendetta against them for taking her out so she could go shoot a movie with The Miz and Shawn Michaels. These have gotten old really, really quick. How many times are we going to see Naomi take on one member of the Riott Squad? And she was out there by herself. Where was Charlotte? Oh, they didn't have her come out until after the match. I was watching because I have PlayStation View. I had the ability to do a picture-in-picture. So I switched over to the Chicago Bulls game with the Milwaukee Bucks for a minute. I look over and the match was over. Ruby Riott got a distraction. She hit her with that jumping kick, which I have no idea what they call that. And she got the win. They beat her down for a minute. Then out came Charlotte. Charlotte gets some offense in, hits a spear on Ruby Riott, then goes to Liv Morgan and pretty much does like a standing type spear to her too. The 3-on-1 gets in the way. She gets thrown outside the ring. The Riott Squad starts celebrating until Natalya, Tamina, Carmella, and Lana all walk down to the ring and chase off the Riott Squad. So nothing big there. Just more BS for the women, so we can get ready for the Women's Royal Rumble in a few weeks, which again will be a total dumpster fire. If Asuka's not winning the Royal Rumble and she actually gets eliminated, then it's just worthless. And I bet you, this will be the only women's Royal Rumble we will get ever. Did you see what happened last year in the Hell in a Cell? That match was awful. What did they do? We never got another one. And Mae Young was in the back with AJ Styles asking him about what he's going to do about Sami Zayn. He said he's going to do the same thing that he did with the Singh brothers. He's going to take care of his business. Tonight, he's going to beat Kevin Owens because if he wants Kevin Owens wants to beat him, he's going to have to outwork him, out-hustle him. And he's going to end 2017 the way he ended 2016. He ended as WWE champion. He came into 2017 as champion. He'll leave 2017 as champion. And 2018 will be the house that AJ Styles built. So they're prepared for the singles match later in the night. Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin, first round for the U.S. Championship tournament, which is not a bad match. It was an okay match. Was it the best match in the world? Nah. I think they've had better matches, but I will say Bobby Roode's blockbuster is a thing of beauty. Double A spine buster, deep six after a block off the glorious DDT. Match ended when Baron Corbin went for a choke slam. This was, I think, a lame way to end this match. Baron Corbin goes for a choke slam. Roode gets out of that, rolls up Baron Corbin for the 1-2-3. So maybe they're saving the glorious DDT for the final match of the tournament. I don't know. So Bobby Roode moves on. Baron Corbin is out of the title picture for the U.S. Championship. I honestly think if they're not going with this, if this was the first round match, which I thought should have been the finals, if it wasn't for the fact that I know he was going to be in the next match, which is Ty Dillinger versus Jinder Mahal was the next title match, was the next match. Jinder Mahal versus Ty Dillinger, United States Championship first round tournament. Ty Dillinger was not going to win this match. Anybody who thought Ty Dillinger was going to win this match, you were fooling yourself. Ty Dillinger hasn't done anything other than being in the hunt for the U.S. title before Hell in a Cell, and really didn't do anything before that, and hasn't done anything since then. So he was just there to take the pinfall and lose to Jinder Mahal, which, by the way, this is the first time since he won his WWE Championship that I think I've seen on TV or pay-per-view that Jinder Mahal won a match without the Singh brothers' help. I know, shocking. Jinder Mahal, every single match of his in the WWE Championship, he's either had Singh brothers' help or John Cena or some kind of distraction, the Great Khali. He's had help in some way or another to win every single match. This match, the Singh brothers did absolutely nothing. He actually won this match with a Colossus after he had Ty Dillinger up on the ring. He kicked him, crouching him on the second rope, the second turnbuckle corner, picked him up from there, hit him with a Colossus, 1, 2, 3, Jinder Mahal moves on. I believe he is going to win. Jinder Mahal will be your next United States champion, and he will take that into WrestleMania. Bank on it. Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal for the title at the end. I don't know. They haven't released the brackets unless I haven't seen anything on Twitter yet. But as the recording for this has started, let me see if they got this out. We have not seen a bracket for who's going to be the other four, and we probably won't be till next week. Then we had Owens was talking in the back. Owens was in the back talking about last time he faced AJ Styles. There was a shady referee there by the name of Shane McMahon putting out all these little hints and how him and Sami Zayn are going to celebrate after beating AJ Styles this week, and nobody, and I mean nobody, is invited but him and Sami Zayn, because they don't want to make it seem like they're gloating any. Yeah, I don't see anything about the tournament, so we'll have to find out next week who's going to be in the tournament. I think that was a mistake. They didn't actually have the winners of the tournament being there. So then we flash to Renee Young, who was with Randy Orton. She was asking him about the roller coaster week he had last week with the WWE, with him losing at Clash of Champions, and then beating Jinder Mahal, Baron Corbin, AJ Styles. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. And how they won the 6-man tag match last Tuesday. He stopped it right there and said, "I've been getting in everyone else's business but my own, and I shouldn't have been there. I'm only going to worry about me from now on, and only thing I'm going to worry about is winning the WWE, like tossing 29 other men over at
Gentlemen, please.
At the Royal Rumble." And then a certain partner of his last week makes a nice little interruption.
Please welcome the Viper, Randy Orton. Randy, last week was a week of ups and downs for you. At Clash of Champions, your team lost to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, but there was some redemption when you were victorious in the 6-man tag team matchup against Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Jinder Mahal.
Let me stop you right there, Renee. Let me stop you right there. I guess there's not much to say right now other than the fact that I've been dealing with everybody else's issues except for mine. I've been sticking my nose in everybody else's business when it doesn't belong there. I have myself to worry about. That the past is in the past. I'm looking to move forward. I'm looking to the future, which is why the only thing that I need to concern myself with right now is how to throw 29 other superstars over the top rope. I'm officially entering the Royal Rumble match, which means for the 3rd time in my career,
Crowd goes wild.
That's a good idea. Let's rumble.
So that's Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura officially declaring themselves, because why not? Everyone else does it. I guess we don't have, back in the day when I was younger, I remember a lot of guys had to actually win matches to get into the Royal Rumble. But now it's just, I'm in the Rumble. I'm in the Rumble. Nope. Oh, me too. That's how they do it nowadays, but that is what it is. Now, I don't, unfortunately, with the way Fastlane, and we'll get to that after the main event, Fastlane's main event is supposedly leaked, neither one of these two are going to win the Royal Rumble. And as I said, I believe I did last night, I guarantee you, John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble, Randy Orton's going to win the title at Fastlane, and we're going to have John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania for the umpteenth time, and Vince McMahon is a moron. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, non-title match. AJ Styles, as soon as the bell rung, AJ Styles just leveled Kevin Owens with a drop kick. It was like that. If you blinked, you missed it. Of course, then they had the replays of it. Calf crusher applied early on. AJ kicked out of the ring, and he got kicked out hard. He, AJ Styles went to go pick up Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens rolled his legs up and kicked AJ Styles, and he went through the middle rope so hard, and it looks nasty. AJ Styles is the MVP of selling this year. He even outsold Dolph Ziggler over the year. I love AJ Styles' Pele kick. He hits it almost out of nowhere. It is one of the best moves he's used. He's used it his entire career. Gutbuster, then a Vader Bomb elbow for a 2 count for Kevin Owens. AJ Styles takes out Sami Zayn, who I guess sacrificed himself. Zayn gets back on the apron, and Owens gets a super kick to AJ for a 2 count. Shane McMahon starts walking down to the ring. He gets on the apron, tells the referee to kick out Sami Zayn. I'm thinking to myself, you're the commissioner of SmackDown Live. Why don't you just do it yourself? Why do you have to tell the referee to kick him out? I'm sure you could just sit there and be like, go, or get a couple security to come with you and take him too. This pretty much distracts the referee. AJ Styles has Kevin Owens rolled up for a pinfall. The referee's not looking. AJ Styles lets go, looks at the referee, is like, what are you doing, man? Then that gets Kevin Owens a chance to roll AJ Styles up. 1, 2, 3, and Kevin Owens wins the match. After the match, AJ Styles leaves the ring limping a little bit, as they do when they've had a heck of a match. If you've seen the other matches besides, I think, the first one, it was about the same thing. The only difference was Sami Zayn was out there to be Kevin Owens' guardian angel. He's walking up, AJ Styles is walking up the ramp as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are in the ring celebrating. And he stops and stares at Shane McMahon. He stares a hole in Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon apologizes. Shane McMahon walking back up the ramp just looks mad, upset that he let this happen again. And that was the end of SmackDown Live. So didn't really miss much other than we have a tag team tournament, tag team #1 contenders match next week. They tore off another layer of the Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, what looks to be some kind of feud, someone turning heel. I don't know yet. We don't know. We'll see. I say something might happen at the Rumble that will make it worse. Who knows? But of course, what goes from here? It looks like we're going to see AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Randy Orton at the Fastlane pay-per-view. If this is true, then Shinsuke Nakamura is not winning not winning the Royal Rumble, which everybody, including myself, would love to see. I would love to see Shinsuke Nakamura, or Bobby Roode, or even Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Ty Dillinger, somebody who hasn't won the Rumble yet, actually win the Rumble. But no, according to everybody and all the odds, it could happen not. John Cena is going to win. John Cena's going to win. And if John Cena wins the Royal Rumble, which would be the second stupidest thing that they could do besides Roman Reigns winning it, which he's not going to because that's the Elimination Chamber for, they're going to have Randy Orton win this match at Fastlane. I guarantee you. I guarantee you we're going to see John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Why? Because Vince McMahon is a freaking moron. They call Vince McMahon the genius. He's a genius. He knows what he's doing. No, he's not. Vince McMahon has got to go. He's coming out with these petty rules of They can't say one fall anymore. They can't pipe up the crowd. They can't have a personality. He wants to have his main events. He used to love, like, it feels like Vince McMahon does not love wrestling anymore. He cares about how to make money. Well, if you rely too much on John Cena, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar, and Goldberg, or Batista, what are the guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, Baron Corbin, Ty Dillinger, what are they going to do on SmackDown? They're just going to be afterthoughts. They're not going to ever be where they could be, because Vince McMahon doesn't see it like that, and it's his fault that everything has gone like this. You gave Jinder Mahal the title when he didn't need it. Putting him in the U.S. title tournament is the best thing they could have probably did for Jinder, where he should have been from the start. Vince McMahon has to go. I really hope the XFL is really a thing that's going to happen, and Vince McMahon puts all his time and energy there, because him being in WWE right now is a detriment to the company. There are two things that are a detriment to WWE: social media and Vince McMahon. And both of those aren't going away probably anytime soon. Would it get better with Vince McMahon gone? Probably not as much as everyone wants it to be. We're not going to see high quality NXT high quality on the main roster, because Vince McMahon will always have something there, some kind of influence there. But the way it's looking up, we're going to have John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. If it happens, you know where you heard it first, right here. But that was your SmackDown Live review. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you again to everybody who wants to listen to my Raw review. I am very thankful to every one of you. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at TheFrance. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08. And I will be back for NXT, where we have real good wrestling, real good storyline builds. We don't have to have all this bullcrap that we have on Raw and SmackDown. We can actually have a good old time. And you can sit there for an hour of your day and watch something great. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do for the build to Philadelphia for NXT. And remember, tomorrow is the Fatal 4-Way. Well, I am predicting, I have not seen the spoilers, I am predicting we are going to have Johnny Gargano win the match. I think Killian Dane is going to take the fall here, because you have Lars Sullivan, Aleister Black, and Johnny Gargano in this match. And I say that we're going to have Johnny Gargano win it. You're not going to have Aleister Black take the fall. You're not going to have Lars Sullivan take the fall. If you have Lars Sullivan and Aleister Black take the fall, that's going to hurt their credibility, I think. Killian Dane is the odd man out, and he could take the pinfall, so I'm predicting that he's going to lose to Johnny Gargano, and however they're going to do this. But Johnny Gargano will win tomorrow night by taking with Killian Dane taking the pinfall. But I'm getting out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow for NXT. Have a wonderful afternoon.